All right, what's happening, y'all? It's Billy Paradise. Garden update for July 2022. Things are going well. Started some seeds for some Chua-Roxa peppers. These are our purple capsicum. They're not chinense. It starts with a B, I think. Here we have a Pacanoy cactus. These seeds were started, I think, in January, and they are smaller than a dime. Still little. And we got ginger. We planted this year before last and grew out ginger. And then we came out from 1 root to 5 roots, and then I replanted all 5 of those roots into this pot, and they're growing nicely. There's the fenugreek. Not doing so hot. Bottom leaves looking like they're lacking nitrogen. They're putting on their seed pods now, which is pretty cool. Bee balm, or lemon balm. Sorry, lemon balm. Started from seed. The pot dried out a bunch of times. It was really neglected, and then these little guys started popping up like little tiny leaves, like like that would look like this right here. And so I just let it grow, because I was like, if anything grows in this pot, it deserves to grow. And so I started watering it, and lo and behold, it was actually the lemon balm that I had planted. I just thought that the seeds didn't germinate, but they did. Royal Golden watermelon in a pot, 3-gallon pot. It's starting to put on its female flowers. Yeah, like there. Now, these are known to get yellowing leaves. This isn't like a phosphorus, magnesium, or nutrient deficiency. That's totally natural for these plants to get yellow leaves. It's a Royal Golden watermelon. The husk of it turns yellow. Here's Navajo agastache. I clipped the tops of them off to propagate, so I have more of those, because that's actually a pretty rare plant from what I found out. So hopefully I can sell that. Scorpion pepper in a Gatorade bottle. Roots are coming out of the bottom of it. Starting to put on flowers. And some random peppers that I had extras of. Lesia peppers in the pot out here, starting to put on their fruits and finally not being attacked by something. The last few peppers that I had on here, they would get to this size, a little bit smaller, and then something would bore a hole into it, like a hornworm or something, but I never found a hornworm. And as you can see, they started on this one, but I don't know. They just left it alone after that, after the 2 of them, so I don't know. Here's the Euphoria, or the California Reaper, finally putting on flowers in the pot. The 2 that I have out in the yard, out in the garden, are not really putting off flowers that well. They're still just greening out. So, man, this plant, I'll tell you, is one hell of a slow grower. It's almost a year old, this plant is. It's probably 9 months, maybe 10 months old, and it's finally putting on flowers that are opening up and not just falling off. So that's cool. Orange cayennes, just finished picking off a few of those. Got more coming in, which is always great. These are going to be in a little pepper eating contest, as well as these 7-pot bubble gums that I got. I just picked off. There was 2 of them that grew. That's the plant right there. And it's got more coming in. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and so if you're wondering how small you can grow a pepper plant, or how small of a container you could use for a pepper plant, well, just look here. There, to there, to there. There's 2 plants in this one pot here. Alright, but anyways, moving on. We're at 425 here. Okay. Oh, I hobble along. Injured my ankle the other day somehow. Raspberries finally starting to come in. These are the early ones too. This is still waiting for its shoots to pop off. You see them little 2 hairs there on each angle of the stem. That's where branches will come out, and the raspberries will grow off of those branches that come out of there. So they still got some time before that really starts producing. Sage doing really well, overwintered there and just came back with a fury. Asian pear filled out pretty well. It's on its first year here. $20 tree right there produces $2 fruits a piece. Chocolate habanero, man, this thing is putting on some beasts. I don't know if you can see that habanero that's growing right there, but it is the size of a golf ball, which is pretty large for a habanero. They're usually like the size of a, you know, a bit smaller. Lesia pepper. This I just put in a bunch of tomatoes. I think I have 11 tomato plants here. Caden, stop drinking out of that. Hey, don't do that no more. Alright, but anyways, 11 tomato plants. I haven't even tied them up. I just planted them with blood and bone meal and a 10-10-10 granular, and then covered it with a weed barrier, or weed barrier, landscaping cloth. And I haven't tied them up or nothing. Just put up this janky little lean-to, basically, of a chicken wire fence. Keeps out the rodents and the pests and the deer. So it's working. My only concern is that if one of these gets diseased, it's going to spread through all these like wildfire. And if I get an infestation of hornworms, it's going to be hard for me to tell until after the damage is, you know, really getting done. All right, but here we go into the main part of the laboratory. The peach tree. I think we have oriental moths come in and obliterated every last peach off of that tree. So no peaches this year. All right, and here we go with this part. Oh yeah, got the Texas turkey fig, brown turkey fig, Texas everbearing. It's got one fig on it here, and then we got deer damage on this 7-pot pepper plant, and they only got so far down and then they stopped eating it. And this was probably a week ago, and the deer have come through here and left and neglected this plant. But yeah, now they're starting to turn color. But boy, those are gnarly looking peppers, ain't they? Those are gnarly. Look at that. It's just crazy looking. But anyways, yeah, so they topped it off. It's regrowing. No damage. They basically just pruned the plant for me. It's not a big deal. Kind of like what they did with the snap peas. They come through, and I usually open up the garden in the winter time and let them pick off any scraps that I leave behind. But yeah, they came in here, topped off my okra, topped off the Scotch bonnet, and then that was it. They came through. I think they nibbled on chocolate habanero here, but like I said, not a lot of damage. We still got all our peppers. Look at that monster. That's a big ass pepper right there. This one's getting shaded out by this marigold. It's not really producing anything, which is fine by me. Got enough of them. Deer kind of topped this one off, but like I said, they didn't really damage the plant. They just kind of pruned it for me, and I still got all my fruits down here. I mean, look at that plant. It's loaded. Absolutely loaded. Just the camera just doesn't do it justice. Cherapeta. Cherapeta crossed with something, I do not know what. But this plant is also quite loaded. And these little suckers are hot, boy. I'm telling you, hotter than a cayenne. I'd say they're like the perfect mid-ground between cayenne and jalapeno, or habanero. We finally got Peruvian ground cherries starting to flower. That's pretty cool. This came from a store-bought bunch of berries, golden berries, Cape gooseberries, or Peruvian ground cherries, whatever you want to call them. They taste awesome. They're like pineapple and strawberry at the same time. To me, anyway. This chocolate habanero obviously needs water. That's one of the downfalls about container gardening. But the perk about it is that I can easily just take this and bring it inside during the winter and grow it again next year. which is what this is. A year two, I'm sure y'all recognize it from the cat litter bucket. It's putting on some nice fruits. This plant is loaded. One of the first things to produce.
Look,
Then we got this mystery pepper here. I don't know what this is, but buddy, I'm scared of these. Look at that pepper right there. Look at that. Look at the spikes on it. That's crazy. And there's a bunch of them on here. I don't know what this is. I think it's like a ghost pepper crossed with Carolina Reaper. The guy that I got the seeds from labeled this as Reaper. And obviously it's not. It's way too long. It's the length of a ghost pepper, but it's scaly and bumpy. And some of them even have tails on them, just like a Carolina Reaper would, so we'll see.
Hey, Daddy.
Carrots I pull out every once in a while, just when I'm making dinner. They're at that stage now to where they can be pulled little by little. And you can see I just crowded them in. Not a big deal. I'll pull up a couple. These tops here ain't looking so hot.
Hey, I climbed.
Anyways. Yeah, these are short and sweets, so they don't get very big. I'm normally about the size of a pinky, but here we go. We got a pretty decent one here. Well, the ground's too dry to be pulling up carrots right now. I'd have to come in here and water it. Coriander putting on seeds, purple carrots putting on seeds. Cucumbers finally coming in. A few of them here.
Kale.
All right, here we go. There we go. Phone acting weird on me, but anyways, we're coming into the 12-minute mark. Got some cucumbers coming in, a little mutant here. We're gonna pluck that off because, you know, we're not gonna waste growth on a mutant fruit, right? The plant only has so much nutrients around it and so much capacity to produce, so let's not waste its energy on stuff that isn't gonna do well for us. Purple potatoes, I started digging up a few of them. Got a nice grocery bag out of this 1x5 little section.